Journalist Sam Husseini was removed from a press conference in the White House after trying to question Anthony Blinken about his and the United States actions in Gaza.
2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press? You pontificate about a free press? You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking
Please,
questions.
sir, respect the process. Wasn't
the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process. While everybody from Amnesty International. From Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel is doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal, why aren't you in The Hague?
And then, shortly after, Max tries to stand up for his colleague and for the Gazan people and also challenge Blinken. Max Blumenthal was escorted out.
Everyone in this room knows we had a deal, Tony, and you kept the bombs flowing.
I'm happy to
Why did you sacrifice the rules-based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you allow my friends' homes in Gaza to be destroyed when we had a deal in May? You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating it with fascism. You waved the white flag before Netanyahu. You waved the white flag before Israeli fascism.
I look forward to taking questions when I get a chance
Your father-in-law was an
finish my
Israel
statement.
lobbyist. Your grandfather was an Israel lobbyist. Are you compromised by Israel? Why did you allow the Holocaust of our time to happen? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? You too, Matt. You smirk through the whole thing every day. You smirk through the genocide.
Thank you.
You see, unlike the majority of those quote-unquote journalists in that room, Sam believed that it was Blinken's duty to answer questions about the genocide that he has helped funded over the last year. He was going to ask Blinken about the announcement to block the May 24th ICJ order, which called for Israel to immediately halt its operations in Gaza. He was going to ask them why the United States seems to completely and totally ignore the Geneva Convention in regards to Gaza. Basically, Sam was being a journalist and the State Department didn't like it. And you know what the journalists in the room outside of Max Blumenthal did to defend their colleague for doing basic journalism? Not a damn thing. They took out their phones, they recorded, and they sat back and they watched a journalist be assaulted for doing his job. And the mainstream media's coverage of the assault wasn't any better. As you can see here, CNN puts out a headline saying Blinken's final press conference interrupted by protesters. While covering it on CNN, they tried to refer to Sam and Max as activists and that their line of questioning was just cringeworthy heckling.
As you heard, he was repeatedly interrupted by some cringeworthy heckling by activists. I mean, we were both sitting here pretty stunned, frankly. This is supposed to be a press conference with a room of journalists. Those were activists who were interrupting the Secretary of State when he initially was thanking the press and talking about the Israeli-Hamas deal.
You need to have a reason to be at the State Department. You need to have an appointment. You need to have press accreditation to come and go. So it's unclear who those people were. So I think there's a real security question.
They even take it so far as to say that they don't understand how they got there. Usually you have to receive credentials. But moments later, I guess he realized, oh yeah, if they're there, it's because they have credentials and they're journalists. And he tries to call it a testament to democracy in America. That they allow so many different types of journalists to be credentialed in the White House is just another example of how the United States is a pillar of free speech. Except you wouldn't call him a journalist, you try to call him an activist and a protester. You claim that he was protesting in a way that people would protest outside of the White House when he was literally just asking questions to Anthony Blinken in his final press conference. And instead of shaming the White House for dragging out a journalist for exercising his duty as a member of the Fourth Estate, you try and diminish the credentials of the journalist. See, it's media like this and people like this who will tell you, you have to hate China, you have to hate Iran, you have to hate Saudi Arabia, you have to hate North Korea because this is the type of shit that happens there. They're the ones who arrest journalists. They're the ones who kill journalists. They're the ones who imprison journalists, assault journalists, tell journalists what they can and can't say, can and can't report. But in the country that is considered the home of the freedom of the press, the originators of the First Amendment, journalists are being arrested for doing their job after being credentialed to do so. But yeah, it's the other governments you're supposed to hate. It's the other governments you're supposed to cheer on the United States as they overthrow them. As the United States gaslights you into believing that they're overthrowing these governments because the people don't have the rights that we have. But motherfucker, as you can see, we don't even have the rights we're supposed to have. Welcome to the United States, ladies and gentlemen, where you can't even do the job that you're credentialed to do and can't exercise your rights that you're supposed to be able to exercise unless you're going to do it the way the U.S. government wants it, because that's freedom.